Alright, good morning everyone. We got the Octobrush Nouveau kit. I'm gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna talk about GooTuber again, for two reasons. One, I kind of treated it as a bit of a meme, because I've had some biases against Stamp, and I didn't really cover it in the way that I wanted to, looking back. And two, YouTube turned off the comments, which basically kills the video's performance. I don't know why they turned it off, so I'm probably gonna say a swear in the word somewhere, so they know that it's a semi-mature video. See, that's YouTube right now. If you sound too much like you're from YouTube Kids, I guess, then you get your comments turned off. But if you swear too much, you get demonetized. So we're gonna try to walk that tightrope in this video, and hopefully it works out. Anyway, let's start with the new one. We got Beacon and Inkstorm. Wow, that kit seems like a bit shit, doesn't it? I mean, it's the Ballpoint Nouveau kit, but the Ballpoint Nouveau kit worked because it was a kit very well made for a long distance splatling. Now, Brush isn't new to having Beacon, and in fact, Beacon on Brush has even worked in the past in Splatoon 1. In Splatoon 1, where Octobrush was a better main weapon to be fair, you were able to get Kraken, and use your Kraken to get in. It was so fun, and so cool because you would get in and set up your beacons, that a lot of people wanted that kit back. And in hindsight, I guess it's fair to say that we shouldn't have expected it to come back, because if they wanted to avoid the kit repeats, we kind of gave it to this weapon. And this weapon can't do it because it cannot paint like an Octobrush can paint. So it can't get enough of these Krakens to do that playstyle. At least, not to its fullest. Beacon on the Octobrush Nouveau in Splatoon 2 was on one with missiles, which missiles are great, but it isn't really the same thing as getting a brush going all the way into Narnia behind you via a Kraken. In this game, they have taken away the Kraken, which I believe leaves only the E-Liter and Range Blaster as potential Kraken reference kits. Come on, we're so close, guys. We're so close. You're almost there, Nintendo. Please, do not give it Curling Bomb. Anyway. I don't think it's gonna work with Rain very well, except for one map, which is Flounder Zones. I think Flounder Zones can 110% work for this thing. Because on Flounder, with all the height, it is very tricky to get in. That's kind of why a lot of people are disliking the map lately. And so having a special that's global, or not global, a special that's detached from you that you can move with, that's what I mean, that also helps as an entry tool is very nice on that map, and Rain has been one of the best specials for that stage. But there haven't been a lot of solid options to pick it with. And I think, while I think for that stage, it's very worth it to pick Octobrush, especially since beacons are also quite good there. So, yeah, I think the Octobrush Nouveau is nice for Flounder. Outside of that, it still might be better than this kit outside of Clam Blitz, though. At least in the current spot Zipcaster's in. I just think it's really weak. If it's like a cheaper Inkstorm, like 180p, and this thing can actually get it a decent bit, it might not even be that bad. But the lack of bomb is going to hurt for this weapon's playstyle, considering it's not going to farm a Kraken, and it still has to get in with a very slow kill time. So yeah, it's not the worst kit ever. I don't think we're going to see very much of it unless if Octobrush is buffed. It is nice for Flounder, especially on zones. Alright, let's talk GooTuber. So, I will start with the positives. I think that this kit, as a whole, while it's worse than the normal one, definitely has the better sub. Torpedo is a great sub, but it's hard for GooTuber specifically to capitalize off the torp, outside of rolled torp combos, which I'm not hitting while I'm looking at OBS. There we go. And so, I think that the sub is a solid improvement. Fizzy Bomb is going to allow you to get way more of your specials. It's going to give you a movement tool for the weapon. It's basically the perfect sub for GooTuber. I don't think anyone's really doubting that, but it's much better than people are even, like, saying it is. It is really everything GooTuber wants out of a sub. The downside is Stamp. And I kind of realized I don't even dislike Stamp for the main gun that much. if you're going in and you're like, say you're under a ledge, you know, and you're like peeking aggressively and going for shots on people, and someone drops on you and you can pop Stamp to kill them, that's actually really useful. And if Stamp worked properly, it could also be a way for you to get in. You'd fizzy, you'd get your Stamp, someone would pop like a rain for you, and you would Stamp in and take some space. You know, and then throw it at someone. And you could even throw Stamp at longer range weapons. Like, that actually seems pretty solid. And I said earlier in this video, I kind of realized I just have a bias against Stamp, and that's because I don't know what the devs are doing with this special. More than any other special, I don't know what they want with Stamp. They keep putting this on weapons that need an entry tool. Like, that is every weapon on this list. Look how short range these are. Like, Brush, Sploosh, and Luna are some of the closest range options in the game. And they have buffed Stamp a bit. Like, they have made it a bit better as, like, a fighting tool, because you have this giant hitbox now that makes it very easy to damage people. And that's nice and all, but it doesn't fix the problem it has right now, which is Splattlings and shooters are just going to shoot through it and kill you. And on top of that, not only has that not been fixed, but they also made Stamp a second and a half shorter in a recent update, which I'm fine with. Like, I think 9 seconds is a little bit absurd. It is a long time, but that should kind of come with a, okay, we don't like this design aspect, but to make sure balance-wise it's not going to fall down too much, we're going to buff this attribute of it. And that part is not here. I don't know if Stamp is ever going to work as the entry tool it needs. And I feel like so many weapons are kind of just waiting for that. Like, I think Luna Neo would actually be really useful if Stamp was an actual special. Because this is a really good kit for Luna. I honestly think it is. But it really needs the Stamp to get it in, considering Luna has a hard time doing that right now. I think L3D is a very solid kit, with Burst Bomb being a good combo if that were to happen. I think Brush wants this kind of survivability annoying tool over Whale right now. I don't know about this. But, like, the main is solid. I guess it would work if that happened. Wiper's already good enough because of Wiper, and I think Splish competes with Wiper a bit too much, but maybe a Rainmaker. And for the Gootuber, if it was buffed as a main weapon, I think I could even see it working in hindsight. I think for now, it will be one of the most fun kits in the game for Chargers, to have a Stamp and being able to be ultra aggressive with it, and then you still have Fizzy for movement. Like, that sounds really fun. I think from a casual perspective, the new Gootuber kit is really, really fun. However, I think in competitive, the Stamp needs to actually be a special with a purpose that is more than just can break objects. And right now, it just kind of isn't. And I'm a little bit annoyed by it. So every time I see something get a Stamp, I'm just like, I mean, okay. Unless if it's like a perfect main weapon for it, that's like pretty good right now. Like this. It's hard to see it really being wanted to be picked. So yeah, I think the Gootuber kit could actually be good in the future. If they buff Goo and they buff Stamp, maybe we could even see it. But for the time being, yeah, I don't know. I think Stamp is just not being made into the special it needs to be right now. Hopefully that changes, though. Let me know what y'all think. It's kind of just, I guess the consensus is 2 mid kits. Let me say shit one more time so YouTube knows I can swear. Okay, bye.